Hi, my name is Nicola O'Sullivan. I'm the Head of Business Development with the Killarney Golf and Fishing Club, and I'm here today talking to Enda Murphy, the Head Greenkeeper with the club. Hi, Enda.
Hello.
Thanks for talking to us today. We just wanted to find out a little bit about your career and your background and what led you to be the Head Greenkeeper at Killarney Golf and Fishing Club. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this career?
I started here as an apprentice in July 1992, where I served a 4-year apprenticeship, and upon completion I was asked to go to work in a golf course in Minnesota in the United States in April 97, which I took up. It was at Wayzata Golf and Country Club. I returned to Killarney in December 97, and I was asked then to take over as head greenkeeper of the newly developed Lackaban golf course, which was the third course in Killarney. And I took up that position in January 98 up until April 2013, and I was then asked to become the head greenkeeper of Killarney Golf and Fishing Club in May 2013, and I'm here since.
Oh, very good. And was there anything in particular that drew you to this particular club and location?
I suppose I'm born and bred Killarney town, and I suppose I've always been very kind of proud of the town and be proud to be from here because of its just beauty and it's just space, So I used to play golf as a teenager. I was very much into the outdoors, very much into sport, and it was a career that I kind of did look at of taking up. Went for the interview, got the apprenticeship, and I've never looked back since.
Fantastic. To me it looks like such a phenomenal job to have, and also a gift to have, being able to landscape. So what does a typical day look like for you, during peak golf season in particular?
I suppose the typical day would look as being always very busy. It all comes down to planning. Mm-hmm. And you're planning for the day's work coming up in advance, either the day before, 2 days before, 3 days before, week before, even a month before. We would have, say, a kind of a plan for the year ahead with regard to treatments of all areas. So you would work somewhere along those lines of getting that work done. Obviously, weather plays a huge part in that, staff availability, etc. So the typical day would be, have it planned out the day before. Mm-hmm. Have the jobs written up on the daily task board with their lads' names attached to it, and get in half an hour earlier than the lads, which would be 6 o'clock, sheds open, doors open, and get ready for the day ahead.
How do you feel about getting up so early in the morning?
I'm doing it 33 years now, so it's just
up early to bed early, like?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And do your responsibilities then change throughout the year? Seasonally, obviously there'd be different.
Yeah, I suppose seasonally, look, weather again, and I suppose obviously in the winter and the spring, autumn, it's a lot of leaves, keeping sources clean and clear, greens free from disease. Then summer, just trying to produce and get the courses in the best way possible at all times.
Fabulous. And obviously, we are so blessed to live in the kingdom, but obviously everybody knows Killarney's climate can be hit and miss sometimes, so I'd imagine there'd be some unique challenges around that for yourselves.
Absolutely. Southwest of Ireland, a lot of rainfall. Mm-hmm. Can get a lot of wind at times, and obviously those two things obviously impact what we can do. Then obviously we've got quite a dry year so far, especially March and May, so therefore watering was very, very important. I suppose the climate for me has changed in that I just felt before things were maybe a little more consistent. It still seems to be a little bit more erratic now. It's right. Just kind of wetter, milder, warmer. I mean, when I started first, you could get good hard frost, a lot of snow. That just seems to be disappearing year on year.
Right. Global warming is a lot to...
Yeah, so obviously that then impacts on what we do out the course again. And so I suppose the weather really has a lot of control over us.
It does indeed, and also obviously the stunning natural beauty of the golf courses itself here at Killarney Golf Club. like, how do you preserve that while managing the greens?
We're very aware of where we're situated. I suppose the most important thing, from coming from that side is we say our application of chemicals with regard to weed killer and fungicide. We only spray when we have to spray. When we do spray, we spray to the strictest guidelines. The lads would wear PPE. We would stay well away from water hazards, and you only spray when it's the right conditions. That is lower little wind, dry conditions, and again, when the timing is right. And we are very aware of where we are, and again, it's only done when it's absolutely necessary.
Perfect. And can you tell us a bit about the team? Like, I see them out there all day, every day, slogging away, doing a brilliant job, and the courses are impeccably kept. What skills and qualities do you think make a greenkeeper? And tell us a little bit more about the guys.
Well, we have a crew of 14 full-time lads, including myself, and from various backgrounds, from all around the Killarney area and surrounds. I've worked with a lot of these men a long time, and again, they like early mornings. I would say that they have a lot of pride in their job. They do care about the place. I suppose I would try to get their own initiative going, and a lot of them have a good drive. A lot of lads are all qualified greenkeepers. We've lads who have chainsaw qualifications, machinery qualifications, grinding qualifications, spraying qualifications, and I suppose it's very much a mixed bag. It's interesting that I suppose we are a crew that is aging. When I started as a 17-year-old, you lads in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and older. Now there's lads in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Greenkeeping is, for me, a dying art. It's a dying breed. It's very, very difficult to get young lads or young girls into this profession, which is disappointing. You could probably see more robots coming into play in the years to come.
Right.
Robotic mowers, using GPS, etc. But look, that's down the road. But as of now, we've a great crew. They're willing to do anything, and I'm absolutely delighted to be working on it.
Oh, brilliant. Can you think of any kind of like maybe standout moments where the team worked really well together or shined on the course?
Well, I think as the weeks have gone on, everyone is going to knuckle down, and I'm very much looking forward to next week. I think the course is really starting to peak. I feel over the last few years, the courses have got better and better in that they've got more consistent with regard to, I suppose, playing throughout the course. And that's the aim of the game, is that whenever somebody comes to play Killarney Golf Fish Club, either Clean Mannies or even like Band, that they are guaranteed, this place is going to be good today. I think next week will probably be my proudest, and I'm looking forward to it. We've obviously got a few lovely awards down through the years, which again is great from everyone, because it's a huge team effort, you know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to next week. I think the place has really started to tie up nicely now.
Absolutely, and next week is Killarney Golf Fishing Club. We're hosting the European Amateur Tour Championships, which is very exciting, and as you say, it's definitely something to be proud of. Can you just let us know maybe how you've done additional preparation for the course, as major tournaments or special events are hosted here?
We've done, I suppose, a lot of sanding on the greens in the last number of months to firm them up. We've kept the heights of cut up to protect them, where usually would be dropping them at this time of the year to get green speed into them. They will be dropped from tomorrow on with regard to height of cut. In fairness to management, they've been great to give us a couple of young lads to help us out there. So we're strimming all the hazards, we're divoting all the fairways, we're edging and sanding bunkers, and I suppose we're trying to tie in that all those areas will be sharp, tidy, neat, presentable, and ready to go for next Sunday on. Whereas usually it would be maybe a little bit more spread out through the season. Slightly different that we've mainly focused a lot of work on clean over the last few weeks and couple of months.
Yeah.
And after this, then we'll start drifting through Manny's Point and get her up to proper standard.
And just out of curiosity, when did you start the preparation? Like how long ago did you start the preparations for this championship?
Preparation for this started early this year with regard to sanding and preparing surface with regard to aeration works, tree work, tree planting. You know, it's definitely since January time.
Yeah. And like, you know, coming up to the championship week, will you bring any additional staff or volunteers on for the Greenkeeper?
Yeah, we will be in early in the morning from 5:30 on. Our plan is to work and get Colleen completely ready and then move over to Manny's Point, and then there will be, I suppose the staff rota is in place that there'll be 5, 6, 7, 8 lads in every evening to cut what areas need to be cut again, to divot all the fairways. So we'll be in morning and evening for all next week.
Brilliant. And obviously, you know, weather dependent, I would imagine your job will reflect that over the coming week, and hopefully we won't have any unpredictable weather conditions. But how would you combat that if it was just thrown at you?
Well, again, I suppose you'd watch rainfall radars, and if you feel there's something heavy coming in, we get the lads all ready to go. If it's heavy rain, squeegees have to come out. You possibly would maybe, and I'm sure talk to the Golf Ireland with regard to pin positions, that they're maybe in a higher area so greens don't get flooded. If there's strong winds, you just get the backpack blowers out and you start blowing. But fingers crossed that we'll be okay for all that.
Very good. And then, like, regarding technology in this day and age, like, have you used any drone surveys or moisture sensors or any other kind of innovations in preparation for this event? At
the moment, no drone surveys, but we do have, we'll have a moisture sensor, moisture reader for regard to the moisture content in the greens. So if we feel the greens are drying out in high spots, I can measure that. It's called a TDI moisture sensor, and therefore if they need hand watering, we can hand water those areas instead of applying a blanket watering of all the greens, because therefore then you're watering areas of greens that don't need watering, like the low spots. So therefore you can concentrate on the high spots. Again, you know, the thankfully the irrigation system, the tanks, was upgraded this year. We got new boreholes put in, so therefore again I can run anything off a computer up in the office above. Instead of going around turning everything on by hand, which is a huge advantage.
Brilliant. And have you worked in any way with the European Amateur Tour group?
Just met him for a good meeting a number of weeks ago. I actually have Tom Keane coming over tomorrow, so we're going to go through the whole course and plan out with regard to where I will mark for GUR, and also what way I will mark the water features and water hazards. So therefore, get that done. Then also we'll talk about pin positions for the week ahead.
Yeah.
And they will let us know our thoughts. I can give them maybe a bit of feedback on that. Obviously, tee markers, they will move them. We'll prep the tee the day before. So I think that's it with regard to them.
And Synergy Golf were down as well, weren't they, giving some input recently?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They were running on a regular basis,
Yeah.
which was a huge backup, huge support, and again, very much part of the plans, I suppose, down through the years really, and especially with regard to this, about tweaking surfaces here and there, and how can we get it the best way forward. And obviously, Gareth and have been a huge support to regard to getting staff and getting our jobs done around the course.
Great. And like, what do you hope visiting players and spectators will take away from the event itself next week?
I hope they really enjoyed playing the course. I hope that we can give them a good test. I think hopefully the weather would cooperate, so therefore we can get a bit of sunshine and show the course off in the best possible way. And I think, if you get that, I feel the course is in a very strong position. Then it should look after itself after that.
Absolutely, and I imagine the preparation for the championship has led to, several long-term improvements on the course itself. Would that be correct?
Well, I suppose thankfully we got, we'd say, the pond done this year on the 18th, which has turned out exceptionally well. And obviously, with the championships coming up, it was great to get a push on the new irrigation tanks and the new boreholes being put in. So they will hopefully be there for a long time to come. So they have been a huge help, and I think the 18th has been a really nice improvement.
Brilliant.
For that particular hole.
And what part of the course would you be most proud of? Would that be?
I'm really proud of the whole area.
Yeah, absolutely.
I suppose it's close to the heart, and you know, I think as members we're very lucky to have two, you know, super golf courses and absolutely fantastic scenery. It's often said to me, you know, it's a super place to work, and it is. No, there's days when it's pouring rain and cold and wet, but that's all part of it. No, we just
we can't give out about driving into work every morning, looking at the lakes of Killarney and the mountains. You know, and then what does it feel like personally and professionally as well? You know, to see your work and the course featured on a European stage. You know,
well, I think it's great for the club in that hopefully, you know, that we get a lot of really positive feedback and get a lot of business back out from it. You know, I think that's the name of the game, and you know, I think it will go very well, and very much looking forward to it.
Great. And then what are your goals for the next year or two, would you think, as the head greenkeeper?
I'd just like to see, I suppose, the courses improving year on year with regard to especially consistency. Again, I think we're in a good place, but you know, you can never be too good. I think Manny's, hopefully now, if we could get an upgrade of all the tee box surfaces, bunkering, I think that's the next big job that we need to get done. And I think that will bring that course on to another level again. A lot of the old bunkering, it's just gone old. It's big bunkers, a lot of time to maintain, tee boxes a bit uneven, too small, steep, we'd say banks which are hard to mow and maintain. So that for me would be the next push that Killarney Golf and Fish Club needs to do.
Excellent, yeah, that sounds great. And I suppose to finish up, before we finish up, what do you love most about your job, Enda?
I suppose, you know, just the area itself, the scenery. I love the air. And the space and the kind of the freedom of the place. I think for me personally, the 4th and Killeen, the 10th and Killeen, that whole area, on a really nice summer's morning, it's just super, you know. And when you have the place kind of yourself and stuff like that. If I didn't know by now, I wasn't into this job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty into it at
I
this
can
stage,
tell.
you know. Yeah, so it's
tell.
good. It's good.
And do you play golf now yourself?
I try to play golf.
You do? Try, yeah. Would you ever play a couple of holes after work or before?
Very odd time. Might head over to Lackman or might get a game on a Friday evening with the lads. But no, usually it's go home and
I know, with the feet up. What's the one thing that people don't realise about being a greenkeeper?
We usually know more than you think about the job.
Well, I think having talked to you today, I certainly believe that, and you know, it's amazing the work that you do, and I admire all you guys so much. And thank you for taking the time out to talk to us today.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.